Okay, so we have a little sun behind us, so it's hard to get a straight-on shot here. So from the last video clip, if you notice where I came into this third, there's not a lot of pocket. You do not want a whole lot of pocket with this mare on these barrels because she can get in and turn pretty tight, so you don't need a big sweeping pocket on here. I also don't have her building what a lot of people call an S, or coming into this turn, making a pocket move. She's driving straight to a spot where she can run full speed to that spot and then pivot and leave. So that's really important on her. If you want to build an S or you want to build an arch, you're going to have to do that on your own because that's not what she knows how to do or what she's been taught to do. On the third, it's going to be the easiest barrel of the run. The easiest way to explain this third is when you're coming into it, sit down about a stride out when you're making your full run, and then push her hands up and just look at the corner of that barrel. She's going to turn it on her own. You shouldn't have to do hardly anything in her face on this barrel. When you're doing your slow work, she's not as snappy on this barrel, but as far as a run, she's really going to come back. This is probably her best barrel of the whole race. So she's going to feel a little bit more flexed when you're doing your slow work. When you're running hard, she's going to stiffen up for you where she can really pop back. The other thing on the third is on all my horses, including her, we never want to crowd the back side of a barrel. So I'll show you what I mean by that is you don't want to come into any of these barrels and be right up against this point. This is a bad point to be on any barrel. The horse cannot pivot and leave with both of their hocks pushing off. They cannot keep from blowing off the turn or hitting the turn. So what we want to do whenever we're coming into any barrel, but including this third, is you want to come into this barrel and we want to make sure you're getting a depth behind the barrel enough where you can get a pivot and a straight shot at leaving. So you notice I almost flatten a horse out on the backside. That's because I don't want that rib cage bent anymore when we go to leave. So whenever we're coming around a barrel, including this third, we're coming around, and when I get to this point, I want to take the flex out of the rib cage and get back straight. That way they can power with both hocks, both stifles, drive forward in comparison to one. So if you're trying to jump, if you try to jump and just use one leg, you're not going to jump near as far as if you're standing there and you use both legs, bend your knees, and take off. That's where we want the drive coming out, and that's why you don't want that flex on the 3/4 point. You want it coming in, you don't want it at the back side of a turn. So that's probably the most important thing to do on the third barrel. During a run, again, want to push the hands up and ask her to go on through. So right here, we straighten up, we flatten out. Swing back around one more time on that. Coming in, doesn't matter where we are, as long as right here,